What did you think about, when you heard about the possibility of them doing a sequel?
I
remember being excited just for the possibility to work with these two guys again.
Right.
Just because we have so much fun.
Yeah.
And then
it comes down to, I think all three of ours mutual desire for it to be as good, if not better, like to be worth it beyond just the time spent or the money made. For it to actually come out at the end of the process with a product that we're proud of. Alliteration, hey.
Yeah.
It's really on the pronunciation, too.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I don't think the audience got any of it.
This will be cut out.
Yeah.
Jason, what crossed your mind?
Honestly, it was the notion that we could all spend 2 months, 3 months together again, but also in town was a big one too. Because we get to shoot this in Los Angeles, and that's always nice when you can have a nice cushy situation with people that you like at home. It's just so rare in this business, and I know it sounds sort of trite, but this is just. The first one was such a great, comfortable experience. It was like having a normal job, actually. I mean, most people get to work in the city that they live in, and it's
and drive
such
home and sleep in their own bed.
It's such a luxury to be able to do that when you got a wife and kids. And so.
Olivia and I were transplanted from New York for the whole time, but
that I wasn't too concerned with.
Yeah.
But
no, I wasn't either.
My situation was
nor do I want them
sweet.
to be.
Mine was really good.
Yeah.
We were loving
So let's
it.
talk a bit about what Nick, Dale, and Kurt go through in this one.
Sure.
Because the first one was about them having horrible bosses, but now they're their own bosses and kind of horrible, at least not good in a way, right?
Yeah, horrible in a different
They're
way.
horrible at it.
Yeah.
They're horrible at it.
But trying to do well by the people they employ and ultimately they're investors, played by Christoph and Chris Pine. But yeah, that was the idea. The idea of these guys betting on themselves, gambling on themselves, like wanting to go. The American dream is, alive and well inside the first act of this film, for sure.
And then of course they discover a horrible boss.
Yeah.
And we're in the same rat hole again.
Yeah, they finally get to the palace and they rip the rug out from under them and fall on their faces, and then they.
Shakespearean.
Yeah, it's very Shakespearean.
That's right.
And has to do with the new characters that come into play, which I think are hilarious, and it's going to surprise many people. Christoph Waltz and Chris Pine. What can you say about them?
Both a couple butter faces.
Yeah, tough to look at,
Yeah.
but
They're great. I mean, iconic. Movie stars and award winners, and
I felt like
Captain
I
Kirk,
knew
it's like-
I knew Chris Pine was going to be funny because
Right.
he's funny in those
Star
Trek, and
Yeah.
I was surprised with how funny Chris Waltz was, not only in the movie but then
just hanging out.
yeah, just to talk to.
Yeah, we had a good time with him at SNL, so I had a little bit. I knew a little
That's
bit more.
right.
But I was like, oh, that's great. And it's a
Yeah.
great heavy, as heavy and as dark and wonderful as Kevin Spacey is at playing that character. It's great to have like the European counterpart to that kind of, swagger. I mean, there's not many people you can get to play a horrible boss better than Spacey, or as well. I feel, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that we got the guy, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Someone who has that weight.
Yeah, it's like what? So it's great. It's very
And it's great
flattering.
that you get these people back. I mean, Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey, Jennifer Aniston, Jamie Foxx have even bigger roles in this
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
second movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was intentional too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really fun to work more with Jamie and get to know, because the first time, I think it was like a couple days of work
That's
or maybe
right.
a week.
Yeah, if that. Yeah.
It was fun to get to do so much with him, and he's just, not only is he great in the movie, but he's a really fun guy to be around.
Yeah.
I enjoy getting to know him.
Good stories, great advice. Like
Yeah.
he's a cool dude.
So what can you talk about what happens? I know there's some surprises we don't want to spoil, but kind of you become your own bosses, you create this crazy invention. Can you talk a bit about it?
well, they're tired of working for bosses, so they want to be their own bosses, and to do that you need a product. So we come up with a terrible invention, and we try to take that to market, and it gets funded by someone who turns out to not be great. And of course, we try to eliminate that problem, and we don't do it in a very smart way, and we're in trouble again, and we just keep making worse and worse decisions, and we try, when we were going through kind of developing the script, we wanted each 10 pages to be an escalation of worse and worse ideas and worse execution, but still trying to keep it somewhat grounded and not too absurd, but knowing what our characters were capable of doing and not capable of doing from the first one, it helped kind of inform what those boundaries would be. So it feels really sort of, you know, tangible and relatable, I think, all the way through it, still by being silly even.
And how was Sean Anders?
It's great.
He's great,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
a great collaborator.
Yeah, him and John Morris. I've known them for a while, and they're like two of the best, you know, script writers and rewriters in showbiz right now. And they did great work on We're the Millers and the rewriting. And so it's awesome to have those two heads, you know, that wrote this draft. You know, did a rewrite of the draft. So the five of us constantly, you know, generating ideas. I mean, in pre-production, we sat in a giant airplane hangar and a little table and just constantly trying to come up with jokes and as much like the logic of the plot and you know, just really making sure everybody was satisfied, which and we all became, you know, stayed friends throughout. Just,
Yeah.
You know, only speaks
You
for
couldn't
their
find
gentlemanly
two
nature.
nicer guys,
No.
and really did a great job of juggling, you know, three very opinionated, funny guys, but then big stars and their schedules, and
Yeah, they did,
and
yeah.
put the whole movie together in a compressed amount of time,
And gave it a really nice polish.
and
look.
giving it a sort of a slightly better look from the first movie, but not going so far out to left field that you're like, what is this movie?
Yeah.
That's a real challenge to do a comedy sequel and have it, and not overreach, but not underreach. I think they did an amazing job.
I hope they get to work again.
Yeah, I hope they do.
I
And
hope
also,
they
you
get
know, Sean on set, I mean, he really, I was there one day,
Yeah.
and there was
Yeah.
a great energy on set, right? As a
Yeah.
director, I
Yeah.
think he's a lot of talent.
Yeah.
He's a really nice man. You know,
Yeah.
to keep a nice set, nice friendly set is really half the battle on a comedy. So everyone feels comfortable and there's not a lot of pressure or kind of bad vibes around. That's a big part of it.
Also, a big part of this was you guys also get to improvise a bit once, you know, the script, which was great and very tight already, is done, right? Jennifer was talking about that, Christoph was talking about that. How much did the three of you, enjoy throwing things out there?
It's nice because we know what we're trying to accomplish in the scene.
Yeah.
Like the improvisation that they're probably speaking about, because they have to deal with the three-headed monster that is the character of Nick, Kurt, and Dale, would be the overlapping way, the like sort of machine gun, you know, banter repartee thing that we do that in this situation would be coming at you solely. So that, you know, they you know.
I mean, we'll try to say the same thing different ways.
Yes.
Whereas we're not going down a rabbit hole suddenly.
Creating new
we're
plot,
yeah,
you know, or new sets or something like that. And
but just
it's not that
little
irresponsible.
adjustments that hopefully keep us on our toes, and then the audience on their toes. And then I think if they're sticking to the script of their scene, it might throw them a little bit, but hopefully just in a fun way.
Yeah, hopefully.
Not in a
How do you
disruptive
manage
way.
to keep a straight face, the three of you together? Because you have great energy.
We don't.
You're
I don't. That's an editing room trick that they do. I ruin many a take. And,
Yeah, there's a lot of laughing that goes on, but
Yeah.
we get some good stuff right in between all of that stuff.
Yeah. If you just can hold past the joke for a few seconds before you lose it, then they can cut away to something else, a bird in the sky,
Right,
and then back to
something.
the.
And then when you finally see it all put together, because you don't know what they're going to choose,
No.
what did
No.
you think?
I really liked it. I saw it again yesterday in anticipation of having to talk about it here for the next couple weeks, and I really enjoyed it. It moves super quick. It's
Yeah, I can never remember the individual things that we do on the day. You know,
No.
I don't remember. Oh, in this one
nope.
take we did this versus
And I never
that.
remember what was written or what we kind of made
No
up.
I
idea.
don't either,
Or
yeah.
I don't remember what's cut, what's not in there. Like I'd have to look at an old draft to even know, like the draft that we started with, whatever it was. But
Yeah, I go for the ride now when I sit down and I
Yeah.
watch it, and
yeah, it's fun.
I enjoy it. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.